Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of biology. Children, remember that in previous class I have given you the exercise of the chapter nutrition in animals, and I hope that all of you have completed your work in notebook and understood the different topics of the chapter nutrition in animals. Is it? Very good. Now, today I'm going to start the next chapter of our biology syllabus, and the chapter is transportation of materials in plants and animals. Okay, children. In this chapter, we will discuss about the movement of the materials, movement of the substances in the body of plants and animals. Okay, so one by one we will discuss it. As you know that the movement of substances occur in the body of all the living organism, by which the living organism remains alive. So to stay alive, all living organism need to transport materials like food, water and oxygen to various parts of the body. And the food and oxygen are transported to all the cells in the body for respiration and growth. Remember children, in previous chapter I have explained you that by the process of nutrition and respiration together the energy is going to produce. Okay, and the waste products are transported from the cells of the organs that excrete them, that remove them. Now, there are various methods by which materials are transported in plants and animals. Okay, so we will discuss one by one the transportation of materials in plants and then transportation of materials in animals. So come to the first. Transportation of materials in plants. Okay children, so first I'm going to draw the diagram. With the help of it, you can easily understood how the materials are going to transport in the body of plants. So this is the stem of the plant, root of the plant and the branches of the plant. Inside that we have the transportation system by which the materials are going to transported. Okay. Please look that here. I have used two different colors to show the two different types of vascular tissues in the body of plants. So in this diagram, you can see easily that this blue color line, which is going upward direction, means from roots to tip of the plant. They carry water and minerals and transport it to all the parts of the plant, and this is known as xylem tissue. Another different red color line is there, which is going to take the food which is prepared in the leaves, that is tip of the plant, and carry them and transport them to all parts of the plant. Okay, so this arrow shows that the movement of the material, transportation of the material in plant's body and their xylem and the phloem. So most plant have developed transport system, and which is called a vascular system. So children, vascular system means that a system in the plant body which is responsible for the transportation of materials. It is composed of specialized tissues which are called vascular tissues. So vascular system is made up from the special kind of tissues or group of cells, and this tissue is known as vascular tissues. And this vascular tissues are two types, the xylem and phloem. So these both together known as vascular tissues. Okay, children? The cells of the xylem are joined end to end and forming the long tubes which extend from the tip of the roots to the tip of the leaves. As you can see here, this blue line, which is the xylem, is going to move upward. So the cells by which it is made up of, it is somewhat like a tube. And the different cells of xylem are going to join each other and make a long tube-like structure, pipe-like structure. And by this tube-like structure, the water and minerals are going to transport. And the phloem tissues are also like that. They are long tube-like structure which is responsible to carry the food to different parts of the body. And the food which is transported in the plant body in the form of glucose. So mainly you can say that the xylem tissues are responsible to transport water and dissolved minerals, whereas the phloem tissues are responsible to carry and transport the glucose, which is the food in plant body. Okay, children, understood? Now, after that, this transportation of water and minerals, which occurs in the plant's body by the xylem tissue. This also minerals contains the salts which is dissolved in water and enters in the plants through the thin root hairs which are present in roots. So here in the roots, the thin hair-like structures are present which are known as root hairs. And through these root hairs, the water, minerals and dissolved salts, they all enter in the plant body. The root hairs are outgrowths from the layer of outer cells of the root, and root hairs increases the surface area of the root for the absorption of water and mineral salts. So children, you can say that the function of root hair in the root is just to increase the surface area, and when the surface area get increased, so more and more water and minerals can be absorbed easily by the roots. Okay. And when the dissolved minerals are absorbed by the roots from the soil by a process, and this process is known as osmosis. Okay, children. So, what is osmosis? Osmosis is a process by which what happened? The water and dissolved minerals gets absorbed by the roots. So that process is known as osmosis process. We will understood about this process more clearly with the help of an activity which is given in the book. So come to the activity. I'm going to explain you the activity. As this activity is not the part of demonstration, so I'm going to just explain it here, and you can understood easily the process of osmosis. Osmosis. Now, children, for this activity, we require some materials. Like we require a potato, okay? We require some sugar solution. We require a paper pen, okay? Now, the procedure is that first of all, we'll take a whole potato and peel it, remove its cover, and after that, cut its lower side to make it flat. Its lower side we will cut, and so that the potato can easily be stand. Now, with the help of a spoon or knife, we will remove inside part of the potato and make a cup of potato. So while removing the inner part pulp of the potato, we will get the potato cup. Okay, children. Now prepare some sugar solution. You know very well how to prepare the sugar solution by dissolving sugar in water. Okay. Fill this potato cup about half with sugar solution, and with the help of a paper pen, make a mark. Just put this paper pin at the level of sugar solution inside the potato cup. So we can know that how much we have filled the potato cup with sugar solution. Okay. Now, after doing this one, now take a tray and place this potato cup in that tray and fill some water in this tray. But when you are going to fill the water in the tray, the water should be not above the level of sugar solution. It must be below it. So we'll take about this much of water. Okay, children? Now leave this setup for few hours. Okay, and after few hours we will observe this setup again and we find some changes. So what changes we can find here? We can find here the potato cavity, this hole in the potato cup which we have made after few hours has gone up the level. The level of this solution where we have marked with a pin is get increased. It comes up. Okay. So how this level of sugar solution rises up? How this water enters in it? That is why the level gets rises up. So the water enters in it by the process of osmosis. Okay, children. So you can say that osmosis is the process of diffusion of water molecules across the semi-permeable membrane from a higher to a lower concentration. Understood, children? This is the proper definition of osmosis. Once again, I'm going to repeat. Just please listen carefully that osmosis is a process of diffusion. Diffusion means that when the molecules of one substance moves to one side to another side through a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, that a membrane by which some materials can be passed. Okay, so through that semi-permeable membrane, when the molecules of water is going to move, and this movement will occur in which direction? From higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, children, that is important to know that the movement will occur from higher concentration to lower concentration. Higher concentration indicate here for what? Higher concentration means that the part of the set where the water molecules are present excess, that will termed as higher concentration of water. So this is the part where the water molecules are present excess as compared to this, because here inside the potato cup we have taken the sugar solution. So in this sugar solution, water molecules and the sugar molecules both are present, whereas in the tray of water only the water molecules are present. So we can say that here the concentration of water is higher as compared to this, and here the water concentration inside the potato cup is lower than this. So the movement will always occur from higher concentration to lower concentration, and as a result the level inside potato cups get rises. So this process is known as osmosis. Okay, children, and it occurs with the help of a semi permeable membrane. The cells of the potato is going to act as a semi permeable membrane. So because a semi permeable membrane is a membrane that allows only some kind of molecules to pass through it by diffusion, not all kind of substance, not all kind of molecules. Okay, understood, children? So in this activity, the concentration of water molecules is greater outside the potato than inside it. And as the solution inside has sugar dissolved in the water is absorbed by the roots from the soil in the same way, and the root hairs are in close contact with the water in soil. So the concentration of water molecules is greater outside, the root hairs then inside, and so the water moves inside the root hairs by osmosis. Okay, and it then passes through the root tissues to the xylem in the roots. Understood, children? Now the root cells absorb water and mineral salts that continuously from the soil, and this produces a force that pushes the water upwards. And the evaporation of water that from the leaf surface, which is known as transpiration, that also produces a pulling force that causes the water to move upwards. Okay, so this movement of water is going to occur in the body of plant in this way. The transportation of water and dissolved mineral salts from the root to the stem, leaves, flowers, and other parts of the plants. It takes place through the xylem, and this upward movement of sap that contains water and minerals is called ascent of sap. Okay, children, this is called the ascent of sap. So here I'm going to show the diagram by which you can easily understood about the ascent of sap. These are the root hairs which are present on roots. Okay, and from root hairs, the water is going to absorb and reaches to different cells. And one by one, it moves inside and finally it goes to the xylem tissues. Yes. So this is the xylem tissues and the water is going to move from root hairs by various tissues and finally reaches to the xylem, and this xylem then carry this water and send it upwards, transport it upwards. I have taken here a little part of the root. Well, this is the part of root, so I have taken only this much part. Okay, so you can look here that you can understood that the various kind of cells, tissues which are present there in the body of roots, they are having a different shape, different structure, and different function also. And the xylem tissue, which is present in center of the plant body, in the roots or stems, they are going to form a tube-like structure, a pipe-like structure, through which the water and the minerals are going to transport. Okay, children? Now, so this is the xylem tissue, or you can say that vascular tissue. These cells are known as cortex cells. This outer layer is known as epidermis, and these are the root hairs. So these are the various parts of the roots of the plant. The root hairs are outer, which are very fine hair-like structure, and as they are going to increase the surface area, so by which more water absorbed through it. After absorption of water by root hairs, that water moves to the different cells of cortex, because this outer layer is termed as epidermis, and after epidermis they have the cortex, the group of cells present inside the epidermis, and after epidermis cortex it reaches to the next layer of the cells and finally goes to the center, which is the vascular tissue, that is xylem tissue, and from here it get moved upward. So the upward movement starts when the water reaches to the xylem tissue, not from the root hairs. From the root hairs only the water diffuses and moves one by one by the different cells and goes to the xylem tissues, and from here the transportation gets starts. Okay, children, so please make it clear that the diffusion is the process by which the water is going to absorb through the root hairs, and by the same process, diffusion process, it's going to move one cell to other cell and finally reaches to the xylem, and from here it get moves to different parts of the body by the same process. Okay, and as this diffusion process is going to occur because of the difference of concentration level of water, as from higher concentration to lower concentration, that is why we are going to use here the terms osmosis, not the diffusion. So you can say that osmosis is a kind of diffusion, but here the movement will occur from higher water concentration to lower water concentration. Okay, children. Now, after this topic, we have another topic there in the book, and that topic is transportation of food. So come to the next topic. Transportation of food. As I already told you that as the water is going to transport it, minerals are going to transport and dissolve salts by the vascular tissues xylem. Is it? So just like that, the food is also transported in the plant's body. And this transportation of food will occur through the phloem tissues. Yes. So the food which are prepared by the leaves is transported to all parts of the plant in the form of a solution and through a process known as translocation. So children, please just take care here. The water and minerals are going to transport it by the process, yes, diffusion or osmosis, and the food is going to transport it by the process translocation. So the different terms are used for this movement or transportation of materials, and the translocation takes place through the phloem tissues, while water can move through the xylem only in the upward direction, and the food can move through the phloem in the upward as well as the downward direction. So here certain differences are there between transportation of material in xylem tissue and in phloem tissues. As in xylem tissues, the movement of materials are going to occur only in upward direction, means one direction. Whereas the movement of food in the process of translocation in phloem tissues are going to occur in both the direction, that is upward direction as well as downward direction. Okay, the second difference is there. The movement of water and minerals by the xylem tissues are going to occur by the process osmosis or diffusion. And here in phloem tissues, the transportation of food or glucose is going to occur by the process translocation. Okay, so this is the second difference there. And rest of the processes or rest of the activities are the same there in both in phloem tissues and xylem tissues. They both are the vascular tissues. They both are responsible for transportation. They both have the cells which is similar in structure, like they are tube like structure by which they form a long pipe to all the part of the plant body through which the food by phloem and the water by xylem can be transported. Understood, children? I hope that you understood. So please revise these topics again so you can clearly understood about it. Okay? Thank you and have a nice day, children.